Well, good evening and welcome to the Caithness Amateur Dram Antics Society. And I'm going to take another look at whether does age matter, where we compare two whiskies from the same distillery at different ages and see what effect age has on the distillery. And tonight we're going to look at two Tomatin distillery whiskies. The Tomatin Legacy, bottled at 43%, and the Tomatin 21-year-old travel retail exclusive, bottled at 46%. So, Tomatin's Legacy is a no age statement release, and it uses virgin oak as well as bourbon casks, and it provides a new entry level to the Tomatin range. But the use of different casks make it a unique expression. So when we look at this, it's quite a pale colour. I suspect these are chill filtered and coloured, and there's certainly very, very thin tears on this one. So Tomatin, of course, is classed as a Highland whiskey, I think. And on the nose, you get lemon, uh, panatella cigar, and pine forest. It's slightly green with vanilla, fruit blossom, light stone fruits, and a sort of deeper roasted pineapple. It's quite powerfully juicy and fruity, and there's a little cream and vanilla fudge, vanilla and lemons, concentrated vanilla, and it's a touch cloying. It's like vanilla extract. That's supported by citrus peels and homemade lemonade. And you do get apples and fresh pineapples, sweetened with icing sugar, and a very lightly salted caramel. There's a slight grassy herbalness as well. And there's a discernible metallic aroma, a copperiness to this whiskey. We'll try them out. And it's a decent arrival of spiced and fresh green apples alongside the vanilla again. It's better integrated on the palate than on the nose, and that supports rather than leads the palate. It's like toffee and a dash of pepper that joins all that. Cracked pepper and sweet barley with pineapple cube sweets, and there's waves of warming oak beneath all that. Starburst, juicy fruit gum, tin pear, cloudy apple juice, and tin pineapple syrup. And there's a powerful cask appearance from the virgin oak, which provides the aged character of the mid palate with oak spices and a little fresh green chili. And that spiciness is a good substitute for the lower ABV, or the lower ABV helps soften the spice perhaps. There's some orange blossom, a little whiskey cream, and Kranichen. It's got a lovely creamy texture, akin to a toffee milkshake. Plenty of malt in the mixture. It avoids being boring by providing a delightful punch of spice between each sip. And the finish is sweet and short with pepper and some astringency. I'm gonna add 4 drops of water to this. And it's staying quite clear, so I don't think we would expect Scotch mist in this one. It doesn't really release any hidden delights on the nose. Maybe a little bit of banana, but that's about it. It's light and it seems bittersweet. Not that you can smell bitterness, of course. I get some green notes, pine wood and green tea. It's slightly plankish. Big lemon, some vanilla too. Not much beside that. Neutral and grainy, and hints of dough. We'll try the mouth. And I get candy sweetness, pear drops, with hints of beer and marshmallows, and something almost fragrant too, like rose pepper or Turkish delight, and something caramelly, a peppery kick towards the end. And the finish is rather short, sweet and fruity. It's a clean and certainly affordable single malt whisky. But whilst the Tomatin Legacy is generally clean, fresh, and easygoing, it's been subjected to one of my least favourite whisky trends: the use of virgin cask finishes to add flavour to younger whisky. It works better on the palate than on the nose, but the palate itself is quite simplistic, with less than a handful of flavours in play. 43% ABV for an entry level non age statement whisky should be applauded. But at the same time, it becomes a bit of a mute point if the overall experience is a touch lackluster. It's fairly priced, but there's still better options to consider. This Legacy seems a designer whisky, a la Glenmorangie, but not very well executed. Plenty of young notes as well as oaky hints. I can't say I'm convinced. I would go for other tomatin expressions, which we'll do in a moment once we've cleansed our palates. Nairn's mini oatcakes tonight. So, for a comparison, to see how much effect age has on tomatin, we're going to a tomatin 21-year-old travel retail exclusive bottled at 46%. It's officially a travel retail whiskey. However, they're also on the shelves of classic retailers, as is often the case with duty-free expressions. It matures exclusively in first fill bourbon barrels. So let's see what we have here. Again, it's very pale in colour. And again, very, very thin tears on this. We'll try the nose. And now you get an avalanche of vanilla and pastry notes. Sweet coconut cream, stewed apples and honeyed notes, and freshly baked brioche and croissants, and butter biscuits, as well as some caramel. Oak shavings and subtle oak spices. And it's a pepper, sweet ginger, and that adds a little prickle to the nose. You get pear, uh, fruitiness, ripe apple. Overall, it's a nice, calm bourbon nose. And it's fruity and well integrated oak, vanilla, icing sugar, and strawberries in the base, with a light honey, fine grain notes, a medium complexity, and the alcohol is very well integrated. We'll try them out. It's a very creamy and sweet profile again. Peaches and stewed apples with a subtle lemony sourness. Barley sugar, more of the butter biscuits, and creamy vanilla custard. And then you get the sugar loaf and the caramel. And it's just hints of spice, ginger and clove, and it leaves quite a vibrant woody footprint. There's coconut in the background, and it's a fine spiciness, creamy, light, uh, yellow fruit, baking spices, more honey, medium bodied, and yeah, it's very pleasant. And the finish is medium length, initially sweet, with generous vanilla. And then you get some drying, spicy notes that come out in the very end. So you start with vanilla and a grassiness, and it ends with vanilla, uh, cinnamon, and a stinging sensation of pepper remains strongly on the tongue. And it has, again, like the younger one, has a slight astringency on the finish, like a raw oak. I'll try 4 drops of water in this. And it's staying quite clear. And now I get clear apple aromas. It's a great bourbon nose, very classic and attractive. You get a lightly fruity, dried fruit mix, vanilla, desiccated coconut, and a pleasantly spicy oak, and a sort of light honey, like manuka honey. I'll try them out. And it's less tart, with the right amount of sweetness added. Remains fruity and spicy. Still get notes of wood, but they're not overpowering. Spicy and mild oak notes, not bitter, not alcoholic. Slightly creamy. It's like a butter croissant with honey. And then I finish it. It becomes fruitier, pleasantly spicy, slightly sweet, tart, sweet spices, baking spices, notes of wood, and a little chocolate round it all off. So this 21-year-old, 46%, uh, wholly matured in ex-bourbon, is a classic tomatin that has everything you would expect from tomatin: minerals, fruit, and sweets. The distillery's done everything right here. It's a good whiskey, which scores also with its contrast of nose and taste, plus the velvety, buttery finish. If you want to criticize something, then maybe the somewhat strong influence of wood. But that's really more when you're nosing, and maybe the lack of strength. But that would be whining at a very high level. And it's also dangerously good to sip away at this whiskey. So, final thoughts on Tomatin and does age matter? Well, the 21-year-old is a good whiskey with plenty of fruit and sweets. The non age statement legacy is lackluster in comparison. In this case, age wins hands down here. Thanks for listening. See you again.